Hello and welcome to this week's edition of FMBN Podcast here on 7FM TV, proudly brought to you by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. On FMBN Podcast, we beam our searchlight on the activities, events, and happenings at the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria in order to keep you informed with all the workings, products, and services. Of course, this program comes up here every week on 7FM TV with housing facts, exclusive interviews, commentaries, news, and many more that's bother around affordable housing in Nigeria. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified each time we post something here on 7FM TV. My name is Patience Okai, your host. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
The latest couple in town.
Good day, sir.
How are you? Oh, sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Drinks?
No, we're fine, sir.
How was the moon experience?
It was quite an experience.
How about house?
We are renting at the moment, but we intend to save enough to own our own house, right?
Why not avoid all those Shylock landlords and own a house upfront? With the average income and cost of building houses today in Nigeria, mortgage is the best option. No sweat. I tell you what, that was how I got my first house, and I've never regretted it.
To make good homes, and by implication, a good society, an individual is expected to have an abode from which to take off and return at the end of each day. At the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, everyone deserves a home. Come join us at FMBN and let's shelter Nigeria together.
All right, welcome back to FMBN Podcast here on 7FM TV, proudly brought to you by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. So, okay, let's talk about the housing facts. Oftentimes people ask this particular question: can I get a loan to build my own house, or must I buy a government-owned estate? Of course, we have the answer to give you, so watch this.
Yes, you can apply as an individual for an NHF loan to develop a land or buy directly from government consort estates or private estate developers.
Glad to know you are still with us here on FMBN Podcast, brought to you by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria here on 7FM TV. Let's join the conversation with 7FM TV correspondent, an exclusive interview with the Group Head Strategy and Performance Management, Mr. Oladapo Fakeye.
Can you share with us what you do here in this group?
All right, thank you. So the Strategy and Performance Management Group is a very vital component of the bank. As the name suggests, it drives the strategy for the bank. And we know that in modern organization, strategy is key, both to the effective performance of the organization as well as its long-term survival and sustainability. So what we do as a strategy group is to help to develop a strategy for the bank and to see to the implementation of that strategy. In addition to that, we also do performance management, and that is at the corporate level. So Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is established to meet some objective. There is a mandate of the bank, which is essentially affordable housing delivery and providing financing for that. So what we do as a group is to see how to monitor and to measure how well we are performing in regards to meeting the objectives as well as satisfying the mandate for which the bank has been set up. And we look at a lot of parameters, what we call performance indicators, to see and to measure how we'll improve on the performance of the bank. And probably one of the other important things we do in the Strategy and Performance Management Group is also to see to the to monitoring the macro environment. So we look at what are the events which are unfolding, both within our local and international environment, and see how that reflects on what the bank is to do, reflects on how effective the bank will be able to perform its function, and it's, of course, give us an opportunity to see how we can make use of the opportunities that are arising from that, or to prepare ourselves to face challenges that come about as a result of events and happenings within our own environment. So those are the three key things we do within the group. A lot of other things as well, but those are the major areas.
Okay, so basically strategy, you drive, you delineate methodology for achieving the goals of the organization.
Exactly.
And then performance, you ensure that those things that are being sketched out are carried out effectively.
Exactly.
All right. Our listeners and viewers want to know the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria's model of growing affordable housing. Of course, the essence of FMBN, like you said, is to ensure affordable housing for Nigerians. So what are the models that of course, your department put in place for this actualization?
All right, thank you. So it's best to start from the understanding the concept of why we do have a Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria.
Okay.
So Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is a development finance institution. What that means, what we call a DFI, is that you have DFIs like FMBN, which are set up by government or promoted by government to address certain sectors of the economy which are not yet vibrant enough for market forces to grow and to develop. So you have DFI set up to encourage the growth of that sector and to ensure that there is adequate financing for business within that sector. So we have in agriculture, we have in trade, we have in import and export, and any other sectors as well. Now for the housing sector in Nigeria, FMBN holds that very privileged position of being the development finance institution for the housing sector within the country. So our mandate is to see how we can provide financing that will drive housing delivery for Nigerians. So regarding the business model of achieving that, what we have as the guiding principle for the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is that we address the market by providing, up till now, concessionary funding. And by concessionary, I mean funding that is at single-digit interest rate. So within the market, the open market, you have interest rates for mortgage financing or for construction housing in the double digits, in the 18%, 20%, 25% at times. But we are deliberate in ensuring that the funding we provide is at concessionary rate for mortgages and our other loans to individuals. They are at 6 or maximum of 7%. Compared to what you will have in the market,
in the commercial,
with the commercial market. So we have that as an intentional policy to do financing at concession rates, and of course, the credits we provide, the loans we provide, are long term as well to ensure affordability. Now, in addition to that, the audience must also understand that FMBN is focused on the medium and low income market.
Okay.
So when we provide housing, our housing focus is on how do we ensure that Nigerians within the medium and low income bracket can have access to financing for housing. And we do also provide financing at what is termed the two ends of the market, both the demand side and the supply side. The supply side addresses how we marshal resources and provide credit so that affordable houses are being built. So we provide construction funding to real estate developers, both within the private and the public sector. We give them loans at concessionary rates also, maximum of 10%, some at 9.5% to cooperatives, which is single digit, so that they can build the houses. So the houses are there for people to buy. And then we intervene on the demand part of it as well, that for individuals who are interested in becoming homeowners, that we provide mortgages, we provide other kinds of facilities, one which is the rent to own, for them to become homeowners. So we intervene at both the demand and supply sides of the market as well. So that is in brief what is obtainable as the business model for the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. But I must also add that for now, what primarily drives that is a scheme that we manage as an institution, which is the National Housing Fund Scheme. It's a pool of funds into which all Nigerian workers, both workers with government, workers with the private sector, and even Nigerians who are self-employed, as long as you are Nigerian, you are an adult, you are working, you are earning an income, the law provides that you are given the opportunity to contribute 2.5% of what your monthly income is into the National Housing Fund.
That's for those who are within the government parastatal.
Not just government parastatals, even the market woman, even the fisherman, even the Okada rider, even the farmer.
All right, that was an exclusive interview with Mr. Oladapo Fakeye. Thank you very much. That was so detailed. But let's go on a short break.
To improve transparency and accountability in managing the NHF funds, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has introduced *219#. *219# is a new way to know the status of your NHF contribution from anywhere. To use this service, dial *219#. Select 1 to update your contact detail. Press 2 to check your contribution status in any month up to the last 5 years. You can also use our mortgage calculator and bulletin board by selecting options 5 and 6 respectively. You can access other services by using direct shortcodes like *219*3# to retrieve your NHF number, *219*4*1# to check your last 5 transactions, and *219*4*2# to check your statement of account. No internet connection required, and it is available on all networks. *219#. Simpler, smarter, faster. Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Everyone deserves a home.
And you are still until the program FMBN Podcast, brought to you by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Just before we go, let's give you FMBN News Track this week. And that's all we have for you on this week's edition of FMBN Podcast. Do well to join us next week for another educative, insightful, and interesting edition of FMBN Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles displayed on your screen at Instagram 7TV_NIG, at Twitter 7TV_NIG, at Facebook 7TV Nigeria, at YouTube 7FM-TV. Do well to visit our website at www.7media.ng, and of course visit www.fmbn.gov.ng for more information. Until I, Patience Okai, come your way next week, stay blessed. Bye.